April the 15th, and I got miners towing up here, and they're gonna put a chain on the ditch witch, and we're gonna drag that thing out of there. And hopefully get the chain back on the back of it and start doing a little trenching today. So we'll see how that goes. Well, that took all of about 15 seconds. So having the right piece of equipment is absolutely essential. So we got the ditch witch out. It looks like my chain is not broken. I'm gonna wait on making that call, but it looks like it's all together. I can probably get that back on in just a little bit. We shall see. All right, well, good news. The ditch witch chain is not broken after all. And I've got it laid out here. It's so stiff that you literally have to come in here and kind of lay it down and stretch it out as you go. It is a lot to move. I'm gonna have to get a crowbar out. It's got some adjustments under here that I can let some tension off of that boom and slide that in. So I'm gonna make those adjustments, get my crowbar out, and get that chain back on there. All right, well, I feel like I've wrestled a bear, but I did get the chain back on, or the digging chain back on. That was quite a job. Without a sledgehammer, a crowbar, ratchet straps. There's a lot of really high tension springs in that boom that hold a lot of tension on that for obvious reasons, and you have to overcome all that force. So I may get to digging here after all today. So, all right, and I just met with Lee Manus. So great guy, doesn't live too far from here. Him and Chad and Kim came out and looked at what we've got here, and they think they can get to it in the next 3 weeks to a month too. And so I told him just, you know, whenever he could get down here and get after it, I'd be happy to have him down here to do that. He gave me some great advice on maybe reconsidering doing the chert instead of the 33C to save a little bit of money there, and come back then in a year or so, maybe, and top it with some millings, which will make it nearly like asphalt. So the millings are expensive, but if you've got a good base of chert down, you know, millings is one time and that's it. You don't ever have to do it again. It lasts 20, 30 years. So that's a really good option down here. That, you know, the 33C, which is what they call crusher run, is expensive. I'm thinking the pricing that I'm getting right now is about $475 a load delivered. That's 22 tons. 22 tons will go, it'll take about 7 to 8 loads at that price then to get all the way down the driveway where we want to get to, and then make our little turnaround at the end of the driveway around the big tree. All right, well, we started the day with the ditch witch stuck right there, and we got it out. I mean, it was in a hole. And that's a very wet area right there. And I've already trenched this up through here, but it got covered back up. So I'm not gonna trench it again because I've already come through it once. But I am gonna come back when I have my water line, and I'll dig this again. So what I've done now is I have run my trench on out and around, and it's gonna connect back to the driveway back over there. That was pretty easy digging, actually. A lot of clay in this dirt, lots of roots. There's not any rock, which is great. So I will come back through. I can lay that trencher back in that trench one more time and clear it out if I need to. But what I think I'll do, it's about 2 o'clock. What I think I will do is take the ditch witch down and go ahead and cover up the water line that I've already dug with the grading blade there on the front, and then get it locked back up and close my redneck gate and get on back to Franklin. By that time it'll be about 3 o'clock, and I can stop and get some lunch there in Parsons, and that'll call it a day in Bible Grove. All right, well, I got all of the water line that's installed. I got that all covered back up. There's an area of it that's probably 18 inches deep. I'll probably bring in a truckload of topsoil eventually over that area out there. We're thinking about putting a garden out there anyway. So maybe bring in several loads of topsoil and help to kind of insulate that from a freeze. It's probably safe where it is, but you just never know. On a really hard, cold winter, that might give us some issue. But 300 feet of water line is in, covered up. The rest of that water line, I'll probably come back down and dig this week, all the way down the driveway here, and shouldn't have any problem. Man, I shouldn't say that. That's just begging for something. But, you know, whatever happens, we can overcome it. Life is about setbacks. Life is about working around the unforeseen. Life is about making lemonade out of lemons. And, you know, this latest bid for the dozer work that I've got is about half of what the first guy was. So, look, if God's delaying me to save me several $1,000s, then that's great. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, grab our last few things here. We've got the redneck gate closed, and nobody can get back here. I've got the keys to the ditch witch. We're heading back to Franklin. Everything's starting to green up. It's beautiful this time of year. These greens are this fluorescent green of this new growth. Absolutely gorgeous. Got a lot of work done. I'm chewing on a cookie. Trying to get the blood sugar back up. It's kind of feeling a little bit low there. All right, well, this is April the 17th. It's Monday morning. Got up early, 6:30. Planned on being here by about 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. I had to run to Lowe's on the way out to pick up some more of the 1-inch PEX water line and some connectors for that. Of course, they're out of what I needed, so I had to end up at Lowe's and Dixon. They're out of what I needed. And it's, you know, always something. But it's about 10:30, and I'm just now pulling through the park on a beautiful, beautiful spring morning. And I just realized my radio is on, and I'll probably have to mute all this. Maybe not. YouTube hates it when you have music in the background, or the folks that wrote the music, I guess, don't want to give you the rights to it anyway. Anyway, so it's April 17th. We celebrated Henry's 1-year birthday over the weekend. He's a cute little guy. He's kind of pudgy, and he's doing well, and we're thankful for him. It's hard to believe it's been a year. But I'm down here today. I'm going to try to get as much work done as I can. I'm down here. I talked to my mom on the way down, and she said, I hate that you're down there by yourself. And I said, well, I'm not by myself. I've got the Holy Spirit with me, and He is my helper. And so I'm going to keep a good attitude about the delays, and I'm going to realize that everything is for a purpose, and I am where I am this morning because that's where the Lord wants me to be. So that's the right way. That's the right thinking. So anyway, we'll see what we get done today. Bible Grove, it is an absolutely glorious morning. Spring. Everything's blooming. Leaves are coming out. It's just gorgeous. I got a later start than I wanted to. Actually, I got the start that I wanted to get. I just didn't get down here as early as I needed to. I'm going to tie in some water line. We did a little bit of digging on Saturday and got that much water line done. I'm going to go back here and grab the ditch witch and bring it out. I've got to do a little bit of adjusting on the blade or on the chain before we get going this morning, and then I'm going to just see how much water line I can get put in. I brought 400 feet with me, I believe I can get all that put in the ground today, and we will see without any mechanical failures or any other surprises. We should be able to do that. But I'm just going to roll with it. Harley said the other day, I'm just going to take whatever life throws at me. And I think that's probably the best way to go through life, because we don't know what these setbacks and these schedule interruptions actually are. Pastor Robert Morris, Brittany was telling me about a sermon she listened to the other day that he was giving. And he said, you just never know how many times the Lord has saved us from injury or catastrophic harm or anything, just from simple decisions that we've made where we don't even know why we make that decision to go this way versus to go that way. And he just puts in our spirit messages of protection. So that's what it all is. That's the way I'll choose to see it. Look at this beautiful, beautiful setting. I mean, could there be the guys that came out this weekend to look at the dozer work were just so amazed at how beautiful this piece of property is. And he said, man, you're going to have a really quiet place up here. And I said, that's exactly what we're looking for. Anyway, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous day here at Bible Grove. So I'm looking forward to just kind of spending some time here doing this today. We'll see what we get done. Got it turned off, so we're all the way back to the stake. This is where my power pole is going to go, so I'm going to run the water right here to it, so we'll have water and power to the same place. Our storage container will sit somewhere in this space here, maybe back here just a little bit, but I needed that space there. Really, I'm going to use that really just kind of for some parking. I think we'll have a little parking area. This will be graded out a little bit smoother than it is now. I got this really good and deep here because I don't think the dozer guy will get into this area anywhere near that, but I do definitely want to have 2 feet of dirt on top of that water line for the winter freeze. So I've got it good and deep, and all the way up the driveway. That thing trenches about an inch every 2 seconds. So you can go 10 inches in 5 seconds. Is that right? I don't know. It's pretty fast. I mean, it beats digging by shovel, I can tell you that. So it trenches pretty well. I tell you what, that thing's no telling how many feet of trenching that thing has put in its lifetime. That's where we're going to tie together right here. I think I've got 300 feet left. I'm looking at about 325, maybe 350 feet all the way down there. So I'm going to be a little bit short today. But man, if I could get 300 feet in the ground today, I will feel like I have won the lottery. So it's about 1:45. I'm probably going to take a little break here and go get some lunch. All right, well, I've gone and had lunch. Now I'm carrying a bunch of supplies back, making hay while the sun shines here. I'm gonna drop these here. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down here about 100 feet and I'll drop some more. I've got the shark bite attachments here. There's shark bite that can be direct buried, and there's shark bite that's not supposed to be direct buried, but you can direct bury it if you wrap it in silicone tape. So I did have to go get some silicone tape to wrap it in. And it's not that the water or being underground is what degrades it, but well, part of it is. The ground, there's brass in these shark bite fittings, in these really good ones, and they will react to the minerals in the water eventually, and that will cause it to degrade. So you can wrap it in the silicone tape, and as long as it keeps the dirt from touching the fitting itself, it will never react. So that's kind of the next plan. So the next thing is I'm just going to continue on putting the water line here into the trench, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so Lowe's was out of couplers. A coupler would be that piece right there without this piece. So this is a T, and a coupler just couples two pieces together. What I decided to do was just go ahead and get some T's, because I can use these to make these units here. And so what I've done here is I've marked the location of my coupler with my 4-inch pipe, the big pipe, so that will be open all the way to the bottom. So once I get the line pressurized, I can check that for a leak. If it's leaking, that 4-inch pipe will fill up with water. So that marks that. Then the T is here in the ground, and I can come back at some point, and I've already got a T that I can put a water spigot or something here, just a handle or something. This could even be a campsite. At some point you could pull it here and back straight up. This could be your water supply here for the first campsite. Have to figure out power to it, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, but I did want to have a water source here at the top of the driveway, and we're just inside the driveway here. So inside the gate would be up there by the truck. So we'd be inside the gate within a water hose distance. So we'd have a water source up here. So that's what we're doing. So now I've got this 100 feet in the ground, and I'll bring the machine back and cover that up. I'm going to do another coupler down there with another T, because I don't have, actually down here I'm going to use one of the other ones because I don't need a T, but I'll use a T down here maybe where I have another campsite. Right here I'm pretty sure I don't need it because it's right in the middle of the driveway. So this one I'll use the other connection. Just thought I'd show you how I'm doing all this. And that's what the silicone tape looks like. It doesn't really have an adhesive, it just kind of sticks to itself, but it just protects that brass and copper from the elements in the ground. Okay, well, I've got it all graded back out, or just covered up. The bulldozer work still to be done, so I didn't have to do too much finish grade. But you can see now that's where our campsites are going to begin. That's where our driveway splits. This is where our power pole will come in and sit. So the meter base for the power will be here, and the meter base, or the water, I guess where the water will all come to originate from, will be here. So we've got our main water line in all the way back. I've got all this covered back up. I've got it pretty well 2 feet or better in the ground. There are some places it's not quite 2 feet in the ground, but it's at least 18 inches everywhere. You can see right there, that's a 2 foot, that's a 24-inch pipe, and it's almost flush with the ground, so that's pretty close at that junction box. I'm gonna grab my trash right here. But it is about 4:20. I almost got the ditch witch stuck again, so I decided, man, better quit while you've still got a good productive day and nothing bad happened. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I've got Celebrate Recovery tonight that I lead at Grace Chapel, and we start at 6:30. I've got about a 90-minute drive to get there. Gives me just enough time to kind of get cleaned up there in the men's room. They're just gonna have to deal with me. But water line all the way to here. There's a T here that we'll put a spigot right there for a water supply here at the driveway. And then water line has come all the way up through the woods this way, just on the inside of the driveway. And it is run all the way to here, where I have left it, because it's got to connect to that one there, and all of this is still just muddy, soupy, and really you can't dig into it. So I'm gonna have to wait until that dries out so I can trench it and put a connection across this about 20 feet. Other than that, we've got water, so that's awesome. All right. Okay, so it's been a good day here at Bible Grove, and I've got to get several things picked up here and back in the truck, and then we'll get on the road. But man, what a beautiful day to be in the woods. What a beautiful day. Nothing went wrong. How great was this? Just feel like we've really gotten a lot done today, so that's pretty awesome. Didn't have to do a whole lot of manual back-breaking work, so that's awesome too. And yeah, so I'm heading back home.